Welcome back, everybody, to another, series on the channel today. We're going to be doing a new series that is going to be taking the place of Simplecraft for the time being until we can work out a way to make Simplecraft work. So we're going to be doing a different type of survival Minecraft with the essentially the same goal as everything else, except the difference is it is going to be a like 2 or 3 player SMP of some sort. This may turn into a minor change to what Simplecraft was and end up being Simplecraft. But for right now, we're doing this with only 2 people. That would be me and my friend Darren, or as you've seen on some of the videos, DL Crafting. He's been in quite a few of my live streams recently, and everything like that. So we'll be playing a 2-player survival. We might get a third or fourth or even a fifth, with Aiden. Oscar or collab in. We're not entirely certain. We're still working out the kinks of just playing and getting into the swing of things. So what you're looking at right now is actually a time lapse of us finding a place to stay. Me and Darren both spent a good amount of time roaming the world trying to find a place that we could settle down and that we figured would be really cool to try um and set up, and we think that we can produce a few good builds. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to be going through this uh process of getting to the village that we ended up taking place, and then shortly after that, you will see basically you're going to see a lot of time lapses in this episode, mostly because I do not have uh, anything other than the third person time lapses that we have. Because I was just trying to play the game, and we've been working on something else in the background, and so the early parts of the game have become very boring. And so trying to stay able to play the game, I had to put something on in the background. So please forgive that. In the future episodes, you won't be just seeing nothing but third person time lapses, but this episode looks like it's going to be that. Uh, so the second clip you're going to see after this one is a time lapsed build of a 3-part time lapsed build of the uh of a new villager breeder and iron farm concept that was developed by Impulse SV. I will put the link to the video of how to build this in the description. I'm not going to explain too much of it, if at all, when it comes time to do so. Mostly for the fact that he does a way better job of explaining that in his video, and so it's a much more educational video than for me to go through a time lapse of me building something. Just know that it is an iron farm and a villager breeder. This concept was actually incredibly awesome when I saw it, and I look forward to fully seeing its capabilities in the future. But for right now, it is currently only producing iron, mostly because I didn't do the portion of his video where he includes a carrot or potato or whatever farm to automatically breed villagers. I'm just breeding them as I need them. So for right now, I have not bred any. So that is what we're going to be probably doing in the next episode. But then that is all of basically today's episode is just a time lapsed version of that. If there are any points that I feel like I need to step in, I'm going to go ahead and do so. However, we're gonna go ahead and just hop into the montage music.
strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every You are my strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. In every ember, there's a tragedy in every ember. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every
So I was gonna hop in here and explain one thing that I did that I feel like I really should have done. And you'll notice it when in the next episode when you see the additions to the Iron Farm. Was I actually wish instead of doing what I'm doing here, where I'm adding in the stairs and then making this the final layer where I'm only removing the dirt, I'm not digging through the stone. I made a hasty decision to not dig deeper, to basically I was kind of lazy, didn't want to dig through all of the stone because I wanted to go down probably another few layers to actually put in to get the farm further in the ground so that it wasn't as much of a box above. I might be changing out that glass that I do in and that you'll see in the next episode. Uh, but for something else, I'm not entirely certain as to what. However, like I said, this is I don't know. Like this is still an early iron farm. I might change this out for something in the future. But for the time being, this is producing quite a bit of iron, and it it is fairly nice. Um, so yeah, it could have been a little bit deeper, but aside from that, I mean it works perfectly great. Um, and it looks just about as even better. The other thing I did that I noticed afterward in towards the point where I'm putting in water is that I actually made the walls one block. too far out. So the in all, I had to put two blocks on two sides, or one block on each side to bring it in. One more block, because in the video, in Impulse's video, he says it's a 21 by 21, but I didn't factor in the wall. I was digging the 21 by 21 hole instead of building up walls, because he built his above ground. I built mine in the ground. So there was a minor like difference there. However, for the most part, it really was just a minor inconvenience. Something I did notice is that the previous episode, or the previous clip that you guys just saw, where I was digging the hole, I realized that I rendered it on fast mode, and so you didn't get to see entities. You didn't see my scarf. You didn't see what Darren threw to me when he came by. The other thing that I noticed was, and this is all during editing, so obviously like it's a little late to try and fix some of this stuff now. Um, but some of it's just not fixable. One of the things that that I'm sure everybody is aware of is in 1.18.1, which is the version we're playing in, because Replay Mod does not have a 1.18.2 version just yet that is available, that is readily available for free. So we're playing in 1.18.1. In 1.18.1, there's a I want to say little known fact, like bug with rain. I'm not entirely certain of how that affects anything. But all I do know is that uh, it does rain a lot, and it continues to rain a lot, and just becomes kind of a nuisance. I don't know of a way of getting rid of that on Replay Mod as of right now. However, I will look into it for future clips. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get back into montage music now, because I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me talk over a time lapse. So we'll be back shortly.
I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, and I stay here for the night. I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. You know when you keep running, but your legs are standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
So something I noticed while mining in this portion of the ending of this video um was that we actually like found a village that's like above a bunch of waterlogged caves, and so those waterlogged caves actually were a major nuisance for a lot of things. One of which was finding my way out of the cave towards the end of this. So that's why it kind of cuts off uh, with me swimming. Um, but this is a mining expedition that I did at the end of what was I was calling episode 1. So obviously after I did all of the rest of everything else, I went ahead and just did a mining expedition just to see if I can get some minor resources, things like diamonds, a little bit of extra iron, and so on and so forth. And I think Darren did some as well, but not at the same time. So there's a bit of a learning curve for 1.18, because like again, you have there's a lot more to deal with. Waterlogged caves, much larger caves, the lighting changes and things like that make things slightly different. And just finding an efficient way to mine is actually really difficult. And I have not quite figured that out for myself. I don't know if caving and lighting up the caves is the most efficient way to do it, or if just strip mining like I normally do is the most efficient way. So that's something that we're gonna have to do in the future, is try and do both, and see which one feels a little bit more efficient. However, this is the end of today's episode. If you guys made it through to this point so far, thank you so very much. Feedback is always helpful. This episode is kind of a strange one because of the nature of just wanting to get through some of the early game moments. We're going to be building our starter base and the first home that we actually live in the next episode, along with uh, some other stuff. I'm not entirely certain of what is going on in the second in episode 2, but like I said, if you guys made it through to the end of this episode, thank you so much. Some constructive criticism would be helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until the next time, guys, do not forget to stay frosty. Thanks again. Bye bye.